Most creators could make their filming space look instantly better with one simple change. Like Leah here, who went from this to this. I'll show you exactly what changed with Leah later on, but before we get to her, I want to show you 4 other creator spaces, all with different problems, and the one fix that made each one look way more pro. Let's start with Tom. Tom was turning his basement into a studio. Off-white walls, vertical wood panels, no windows, basically a blank canvas. The first idea was to go dark, but once that grey paint went on, I had concerns. We were already in a basement, and now we're making it even darker. So instead of feeling like a nice space to make content, it was gonna end up more like filming in a dungeon. So I wanted to see what would happen if we pushed it in a complete opposite direction. Bright, welcoming, and actually a nice place to sit and film. And this is what came back. Now we've got this fresh, brighter, way more welcoming space. And yes, it's still the same basement, but by using lights to fake sunlight, suddenly it feels like a bright studio setup his audience would actually enjoy looking at. So with Tom, the fix was simple. Don't lock yourself into the first idea. Test the opposite direction before you commit. Next up, we got Charlie. He already had a beautiful room to work with. A fireplace, wallpaper, built-in bookcase, and these 2 big windows at the back. But this was a temporary filming location, so he was only travelling with a couple of small lights, which meant finding the right camera placement was essential. The obvious move would be to film against the wallpaper, but that would feel so busy on camera. Or the bookcase, which, would cause issues on where to place the camera. So instead of choosing the prettiest wall, I wanted to find the angle that solved the most problems. And for me, it was shooting towards the windows. The idea was simple. Put Charlie between the windows and let the room do the work. And this is what came back. Now we've got symmetry from the windows, depth in the background, and natural light doing a lot of the heavy lifting without needing loads of extra gear. The 2 lights can then be used to light Charlie properly, while the windows create that nice natural ambience in the background. No massive set build, no need for any furniture, just point the camera at the windows and let the room do the work. So with Charlie, the fix was simple. Don't choose the prettiest wall, choose the angle that solves the most problems. Next up, we've got Chris, and he had probably the most relatable room out of all of them. It's a normal spare room trying to be an office, a filming space, and a guest bedroom all at the same time. So straight away, we've got limitations. The sofa bed still needs to be pulled out. The desk side would bring in all the office clutter into the shot. And the doorway, obviously that can't be a filming background. So really, the wall he was already thinking of using was the best option. But I wanted to see if we could still make that wall feel like a proper studio without pretending the room was bigger than it needed to be. And this is what came back. Now we've got a setup that actually feels warm and intentional. Chris is framed centrally, the shelves help balance the background, the poster behind his head is gone, and the lighting is much more controlled. We got soft light on his face, a bit of separation, and those warm practical lights in the background to give the room a bit of glow. And the best bit is, it's realistic. This room can still go back to being an office or guest bedroom whenever he's not filming. So with Chris, the fix was simple. Don't fight limitations, design around them. Next up is Shay, and his original setup was holding back his video quality. He was sat on his bed, the lighting was all a bit orange, and the framing felt too cramped. And because of his niche, men's health and sex advice, the bedroom vibe could have worked, but not like this. Then he showed me another possible setup with this bookcase behind him, and straight away I thought, okay, there's something here, but it was all still feeling a bit too cramped. He needed more distance from the wall, the camera needed to come back a bit, and because the light was so flat and central, the shelves were ending up almost as bright as him. So rather than getting layers of lighting, everything was just blending together. So I wanted to see what would happen if we created more separation. What if we move him away from the wall, pull the camera back, control the key light, add a pink rim light to match the colour theme he was already using, and give him some more shape against the background. And this is what came back. Now we got depth, mood, separation, and that pink glow links back to the colour theme he was already using. And this didn't need to be the final finished version. It just needed to show him a better direction with more distance, better lighting, more mood, and something he could actually then work towards. Then Shay actually started building it, and this is where he's got to so far. It's not finished yet, and that's fine, The shelf still needs some work, maybe a poster goes on one side, we need some more props, but already this feels miles better than where we started on his bed. So with Shay, the fix was simple. Create more separation, because once you get the distance and lighting right, the whole setup starts to feel way more intentional. And finally, let's come back to Leah, where she sent over 3 potential filming spots, but honestly for me, none of them were quite hitting the mark. We had window problems, awkward angles, and because of where she was positioned, there wasn't much room for any background separation. But when I looked at the photos, I noticed the room seemed to carry on further than what she was actually showing us. So she sent over some wider shots, and that changed everything. She had this beautiful long room with brickwork, wooden floors, double windows, a sofa, a table, loads of texture, basically all the stuff you'd normally try and add into a set, and it was already there. So instead of using the corner, which she thought was the best place to use, I wanted to see what would happen if we used an area she had overlooked. The idea was to put Leah at the dining table, use the windows in the background, keep the brickwork dark and textured, and let the room give us all the natural character. And this is what came back. Wow. This is why I wanted to leave Leah till the end, because it's such a huge shift. She hasn't changed rooms, she hasn't built a massive set. All she's done is use the space in a completely different way. Now we got depth, symmetry, texture, and a setup that feels properly connected to her space and her niche. So with Leah, the fix was simple. Stop assuming the obvious corner is your only option. Sometimes the best setup is actually the space you've completely overlooked. And that's why using AI like this can be so powerful. It can open your eyes to what's possible before you start moving furniture, painting walls, buying bits, and hoping for the best. And if you want me to help find the hidden studio in your space, I've opened up a new Studio Vision audit. You send me photos or a quick video of your room, and I'll help you figure out the strongest direction for your setup before you start moving everything around and somehow making it look worse. The link for that is in the description. Click the video on screen now if you want to see me break down how a creator studio can help build authority on camera. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.